The National Assembly is divided on the constitutionality and practicality of Chief Justice David Maraga's advice to President Uhuru Kenyatta to dissolve Parliament for failing to enact laws that enable the implementation of the two-thirds principle. Some members argue that dissolving Parliament would be defeatist, while others are lauding the Chief Justice for what they term as a bold constitutional move. Layla Mohammed starts us off.
The Commission has taken the firm position that the action by the Right Honourable Chief Justice to advise His Excellency the President to, as aforesaid, is ill-advised, premature, and unconstitutional.
A house on edge reeling from the after effects of Chief Justice David Maraga's advice to the President, seeking for the dissolution of Parliament for failing to enact the two-thirds gender principle.
The Parliamentary Service Commission, in furtherance of its constitutional mandate and on the request of the Speakers of the two Houses of Parliament, has resolved to engage Council to immediately proceed to the High Court, pursuant to Article 165, Clause 3 of the Constitution, to challenge the unlawful and unconstitutional action taken by the Right Honourable Chief Justice.
It is a matter that has hit Parliament where it hurts, and members have been debating its constitutionality Tuesday afternoon.
As a house, we can't be under siege. We can't be under siege. I have seen people outside saying, oh, Parliament must go home. Go home where? We are going nowhere, Mr. Speaker. We are going nowhere. And the question I want to ask is one, even if we are to go to elections now, within 60 days, Mr. Speaker, how are we going to achieve the gender parity? Because Kenyans will still elect more men than women. It's for a fact, Mr. Speaker.
I'm unable to agree with an interpretation that would precipitate a bigger constitutional crisis while trying to solve a small constitutional crisis. And it is on that reason that I believe that although the CJ has advised the President to dissolve Parliament, that particular advice should not be adopted.
The Speaker, if you look at Article 94.1, it also confers the legislative authority on Parliament, and that authority is derived from the people. The people who woke up at 5, who voted for all of us.
Why did they come with the provisions as it is in the Constitution? And that is why I think whether we say what, this principle, Mr. Speaker, I want to say it here, however, even if Maraga was to succeed by persuading the President to dissolve Parliament, you will dissolve this Parliament 1,000 times if you don't address this issue through a referendum.
Even the Supreme Court itself, those judges, they do not subscribe to the two-third gender rule. And you know that, Mr. Speaker. And the many legislators who are shouting outside there, particularly our female colleagues, they should stop pretending, Mr. Speaker. We've been in this Parliament, and the time of voting when it was here, they were away in New York to gain allowances, Mr. Speaker, as opposed to advancing this. It is really shameful, Mr. Speaker, for those of you, if you push me, I'll mention your names. Because the two-thirds was not achieved because of their selfish interests.
Some, however, have welcomed the move.
This matter is a matter for all of us. Mr. Speaker, it is for all of us to resolve it together. Parliament does not have to express itself only in one direction. Parliament can say a yes, and Parliament can say a no. And Parliament has said a no. And Parliament having said a no, the matter moves to a different authority. And the different authority here is the Chief Justice. Nobody abused Parliament when Parliament made its own decision.
Layla Mohammed, NTV.